This is the Tech Phantom with a video response for all of the comments to my Dark Souls top 10 weapons. First thing I'd like to say is thank you for the views and the comments. Keep them going. I thought I would do a video response to as opposed to replying to each and every single one of you, because I think it will give you an idea of my thoughts on the list and why it is the way it is. So hopefully this helps, and hopefully it's fun, and if there are enough comments again, I'll do another video response. So here we go. Maishul Gaming wants to know why I think the Gargoyle Halberd is better than the regular Halberd. Well, and this goes for other weapons in the game as well, but especially for the Gargoyle Halberd. The moveset of the Gargoyle Halberd is way better than the moveset of the regular Halberd, especially the normal attack. So, in Dark Souls, a game that really depends on your skill, a weapon that has a better moveset, allows you to play better, will allow you to progress through the game. So the Gargoyle Halberd having a better moveset is going to be better than the regular Halberd, in my opinion. And that's not even counting the buffs that you get with the Gargoyle Halberd. Alright, Greatlord 6585455 says the Great Club is the best weapon for PvP two-hand rolling attacks. Good to know, Greatlord. Next time I want to do PvP two-hand rolling attacks, I will try it. Franco Star says, what is the first weapon? And okay, find it. I think he's... I don't understand your comment, but you're asking about your starting weapon. Anyway, as far as the best starting weapons, again, it depends on your game style, but I would say the Bandit starting equipment is pretty good with the Spider Shield and the Axe. And the Knight starting equipment is pretty good because he's got a really good shield and he's got the broadsword. Okay, Wild Freak 9001 says all of the dragon weapons are shit, and I'm angry at the fact that Ricard's rapier and bowler swords aren't on here. I'm not gonna read the rest of your comment because it's long. But you ended with I'm disappointed. Wild Freak 9001. The only thing I could say is I'm sorry you're disappointed. It's my list. I'm trying to explain the reasons behind it. I do agree with you on dragon weapons, which I think you mean soul weapons, the weapons that you get when you transform a boss soul into a weapon. They are very disappointing, and I'm there with you. They should have been a lot better. I really can't do anything about the fact that Ricard's rapier and the BaIder Side Sword aren't on there on the list, though. Again, I apologize if you're upset. Please don't be upset. This is just a video on the internet. It's no big deal. I am trying to make up, though, by this video is sort of a tribute to the BaIder Side Sword, as you can see from the gameplay in the background here. Okay, NY Dark Knight says, did he really mention the Drake Sword? Yes, I really did mention the Drake Sword. I think it's a great weapon, especially at the beginning. And as a matter of fact, if you want a special challenge, finish the game with nothing but the Drake Sword. It can be done. It will take a long time, and obviously you have to max it out. But you can finish the game using nothing but the Drake Sword. So take that as a special challenge from the Tech Phantom to you guys. And if anybody posts some kills of late game bosses with the Drake Sword, that'd be kind of cool. Moderator says, where's the Great Dragon Sword? Not on my list. I don't like slow weapons, so I'm sorry about that, Moderator 026. Grunty's Ex-Apprentice says, to me, Quelaag's Fury Sword looks like the Daedric Sword in Skyrim. I've been playing a little bit of Skyrim, and I don't think Quelaag's Fury Sword looks like the Daedric Sword. I disagree with you, Gruntus. Quelaag's Fury Sword looks a heck of a lot cooler than anything in Skyrim, in my opinion. Caleb Romeo says, the Greatlord Greatsword art class is the Black Knight most of the time. The Black Knight sword most of the time. I agree with you. I think the Greatlord Greatsword is actually a pretty decent weapon. It's disappointing that it doesn't have the fire component. in it. It would be nice if it had fire damage, but I'd like to think of the Greatlord Greatsword as a claymore on steroids. It's a little heavier, but it does more damage and it has a little bit more reach. So I think it's a pretty cool weapon. Gamehead1223 says, don't just count damage, you need speed, reach, attack type, weapon type, attack, parameter bonuses, and aux effects. I am there with you, Gamehead. I try to take all of those into account on top of gameplay. Again, this list is affected by how I play the game. So I agree with you. I try to take all of those into account. I try to make it as objective as I could, but obviously it's my list, so some of my biases are going to be in there. So go ahead and put your list together, because it's kind of fun to look at everybody else's list. Gypsum Rye says, no washing pole. Why is the washing pole not in the top 10 list? I'm there with you, Gypsum Rye. It was a difficult choice for me because the washing pole is my favorite weapon in the game by far. It's not even close. But I just could not put it on my top 10 list. The Uchigatana, and I apologize for how I've been pronouncing both the Uchigatana in my videos. I've been pronouncing it Uchigatana. The correct pronunciation is Uchigatana. Is way better than the washing pole. You can get it a lot earlier in the game. It doesn't cost as much. You don't need the stats that you do for the washing pole, and it maxes out at exactly the same stats when you ascend it to lightning or fire mode. The Uchigatana is more of a dex weapon in its normal mode, whereas the washing pole is more of a strength weapon because of the how it's affected by your stats. But yeah, I just didn't have the heart to put the washing pole in there. If I did, I think I would have had even more haters, and I would have alienated even more people on the internet if I actually put the washing pole in there instead of the Uchigatana. Illusion Feed says that the Greatsword moveset is similar to the longsword, not the bastard sword. And why isn't the Great Club good for PvP? Blah blah blah. So you're probably right, Illusion Feeds. There are probably a lot of mistakes in the narration of my video. I tried to make it as accurate as I could, but nobody's perfect, and thank you for pointing out my mistakes. And a lot of you guys are mentioning PvP. I don't do a lot of PvP, so I do a little bit of PvP, but not as much as some of you guys out there. So when you read my list, take it with a grain of salt. If you're looking for something specifically for PvP, that is so much more affected by your gameplay style, I think, and how you use your other buffs and your offhand as well. But if you guys want to put a list together for best PvP weapons, go for it. I'd love to see that. 90 Buscape wants to know why the Black Knight Halberd is not in the list. It's because it's not the best Black Knight weapon. The best Black Knight weapon is the Black Knight Great Axe. It's not even close. So Black Knight Halberd didn't make it. Twiggy986, what about the Dragon Great Axe and the Great Sword? Well, what about them? They just didn't make my list. Dedent10 says, Zweihander, WTF. I am there with you, Dedent10. I actually went on the internet and I learned how to pronounce this weapon properly, so thank you to Guy Incognito and the GameFAQs board for posting the correct pronunciation of this weapon. And it's pronounced, and I'm going to do my best to do it. It's a German word, so it's a little bit difficult. It's called Zweihander. Zweihander. So sorry for mispronouncing it. I will try to pronounce it correctly in my future videos. The Real Cho'Gath wants to know, no BaIder Side Sword. It's my favorite weapon number 2. I'll talk about the BaIder Side Sword at the end. Shadowfiend 97, the Dragon Tooth is better than the Great Club. No, it's not. I hate slow weapons, so the Dragon Tooth is never going to make it onto my list. I apologize for that. Too Fast for You X actually posted a list of his favorite weapons. He's got lots of claymores, lots of halberds with different variations, the BaIder Side Sword, and the Painting Guardian Sword. So, Too Fast for You X, thank you for your list. It's cool. Zuminator0805 says, you are dumb. That's not a very smart comment, Zuminator. Why am I dumb? Tell me what you think. So actually, your comment makes you look dumb. So, and I know you're not. So give me a little bit more so we can have a conversation here. I really cannot respond to you are dumb. Banjerty 2005 says, my number one weapon is the Painted Guardian Sword with Crystal Magic, very quick and a lot of damage. I agree with you. And like I said, a light weapon that's been maxed out and buffed with something like Crystal Magic Weapon or Lightning, something like Blade or something like that will allow you to do a lot of damage with each hit. So the damage sort of stacks up. So those are good weapons. Again, it depends on your playstyle. Louis519RS wants to know how to upgrade the Gargoyle Halberd to make it better in damage than my Black Knight Halberd. It depends, Louis. What is your build? Because the Black Knight Halberd is affected by strength significantly. So, and what do you mean by damage? Physical damage? Elemental damage? Let me know. I can't help you without more information. OldJ88 said, had to stop at 9 because how's the Drake sword like the Gargoyle Halberd or the Tail Axe? I'm sorry to be critical, but come on, list is fine. Okay, thank you for your thoughts, OldJ. You're right. Probably, like I said earlier, I probably made some improper comparisons, but I apologize. Blue Dude 90210 says, Iato's moveset is better than the Uchi's in my opinion. The other katana's strong attack is garbage. I wouldn't say garbage. The Iato's moveset is cool. I would say that the one-handed, the strong attack with the Iato, where you whip out your katana, is probably the coolest animation in the game. But it doesn't have the range of the Uchigatana or the washing pole, so it's not better than the Uchigatana in my opinion. Blue Dude also says, I would totally play as Artorias if there was something like the Beast Talisman in this. Good to know, Blue Dude. Now I know a little bit more about you. Yobel87 says, what is with this video? The Drake sword one of the best? Are you insane? And there is no, and I'm going to try to pronounce this correctly, Zweihander. Well, that's my list, Yobel. I would love to see your list. Obviously, the Zweihander is going to make it to your top 10 list, so let me see it. Extreme says, the BaIder Side Sword is by far the best weapon in the game. In your opinion, again, the BaIder Side Sword is a great weapon. I'll talk a little bit more about it here, but thank you for your comment, Extreme. Corona Tariga Diaz says, Murakumo 15 is best for PvE, and I play with Chaos Blade for +5 for PvP. The Murakumo is good, but you can get a weapon that does more damage with at about the same weight. So the Murakumo is pretty heavy. It's more of a dex weapon, I think. It's a good weapon, but it didn't make my top 10 list. Power Slammable, and this one made me laugh. He says, regarding the Uchi, have you ever used the washing pole? It's the same moveset with a ton more range. If any of you guys have followed my other videos, you know that every single one of my other videos are nothing but washing pole gameplay, because the washing pole is my favorite weapon in the game by far. It's not even close. So yes, Power Slammable, I do know about the washing pole. I have used it, and I would say check out my other videos, because I have a series showing you how to beat every single boss, including all the optional bosses in Dark Souls with the washing pole. I'm there with you that it's a great, it's got a great moveset and a lot of range. N063098 says, my knight dodge is so slow, how do I make him dodge faster? Put on the Darkwood Grain Ring. And Mr. Xbox Freak also responded to N063098, so thank you for that. And the Dutch Am12 says, the normal Greatsword of Artorias does the most damage of all weapons at the final level. Just saying, yes it does, but how are you going to get 99 strength, 99 dex, 99 faith, and 99 intelligence? pretty hard to do, and it will take a long time to do it. So the other weapons, there are other weapons that can give you about the same, it can give you a lot of damage a lot quicker, so that's why the normal Greatsword of Artorias did not make my list. Alright, so with that, we're coming up at 15 minutes, and I apologize for making this a long video, but I do want to talk about the BaIder Side Sword. So the reason the BaIder Side Sword did not make my list, it's because it was between the BaIder Side Sword and the Greatsword of Artorias, the cursed version. If I had to do it again, I would probably put the BaIder Side Sword in there. It's a great weapon. As a matter of fact, if you check out my blog, you will see that I have a post for the top 10 weapons to ascend to fire or lightning mode. And the BaIder Side Sword, I believe, is number 2, but it's definitely in the top 3. So my apologies to every single one of you that are upset that the BaIder Side Sword did not make my list. If I had to do it over again, it would probably make my list. It's a great weapon, I agree with you. And this video responds with the gameplay in the background. It is a tribute to all you BaIder Side Sword lovers. So with that, I'm going to sign off. I am going to tell you guys that you probably want to check out my video in a couple of days because we might have some fun stuff coming. Just saying. So check it out. And again, thank you all for the views and the comments. This is the Tech Phantom signing off.